Hi, everybody, and welcome to this week's Writers Chat. And this is the place where writers gather together and we talk about all things writers, for writers, and by writers. And we welcome you here either live in the chat room there or if you're watching the replay. This should be a really good episode today. I'm looking forward to it. My name's Jean Wise, and I'm joined here today by my co-host, Johnny Alexander. Wave at him, Johnny. Yay! And Bethany Pat. And I'm going to turn it over right away to Bethany to introduce today's host and our topic for today. Go away. Go away. I don't mean it. Go on. Go for it. Go away.
Happy Tuesday. I'm so excited to be able to introduce Joyce Glass. You can get all the information about her on her website, and we'll put it in the chat as well. It is the Write, W-R-I-T-E, thewritecoach.biz as her site. And Joyce writes nonfiction, but is actually, I think, still working on a novel right now, which is super fun. Yes, and it is a pleasure. She has joined our Platinum Literary Services team, and we would be lost without her. So she's just an amazing woman. I am so excited to be able to learn from her. She is organized and detailed, and just, you'll love her. Southern Belle. I mean, I just can't wait. So I just want to turn this over to you, Joyce. And before you got on, I said, I'm going to have Evernote going here and taking notes. And so I encourage everyone who's watching, go ahead and maybe log in, get a free Evernote account, and start playing around with it while we're listening to Joyce. And I'm super excited. So Joyce, welcome.
Well, thank you. And the good news is I have written 2 blog posts about this. So if you don't catch it here, you can watch it. I mean, we'll put the links in on later, I guess in the writer's chat. I can give them to you, Bethany, where I've gone over this. But the biggest thing that I love about Evernote is I call it my brain. I can keep so much in there. And it's consolidated so many things. So your email, how many of you have folders and folders in your emails? Just put in the chat if you do. Because there's a folder for this and a folder for that and a folder. You don't need all that anymore with Evernote because you can put email into Evernote. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over real quick what you can do with Evernote. Then I'm going to show it to you. So the biggest thing that I love is getting rid of the email clutter. The next thing is there's something called tags, and you've probably seen this on an app here or there, but it's very powerful with Evernote because you can put as many tags on something as you want. So Bethany said, I'm working with Platt Lit and helping them. So we can put our client name, we can tag it if it's something for me, tag it if it's something for Bethany, and we can tag it their project name. So whenever we were discussing yesterday through many emails, I said, Bethany, I think we need to put all this in Evernote because I'm getting lost looking in all these emails. I'm like, did I get everything? I'm not sure. And I said, let's put stuff in Evernote and then we can tag it and you can write on the notes. That's the other great thing. So then once that email's in there, you can put information above it, in it, on it, whatever you want to do to help keep up with it. Because especially that's a part of project management. If there's emails, you can do, yes, you can use multiple tags. That is what's so wonderful Jeannie was asking. So Evernote, and I'm going to share my screen, but let me, let me make sure I don't have anything that I really don't want you to see. Let me create a new notebook real quick, and then that'll hide some of this stuff. Actually, I probably should.
John, do you need the co-host in order to share, or can she just share?
I don't know. Do I need?
I can share.
Okay.
Yeah, I have Zoom, so I do this all the time.
There we go.
All right. So this was part of my research last night on my novel. My main character is a real estate development broker lady person. So I was looking I needed a technical term, and I'm like, what's one of their technical terms? So there's that. So that's one of the things. But so let me start in and show you how to create a notebook. We'll do that first. And as you see, I have many notebooks, but I started organizing Evernote one way, and then I learned a different way. And I just left the old way in there because it was too much trouble to go move things around. So if you see all this, you're like, what in the world? But it'll be more clear in a minute. So to create a notebook, you just right click, and actually you have to hit notebook. Sorry, they've changed it. So you hit notebooks, and see right here it says new notebook. And I'm just going to name it Evernote Awesomeness. Okay. So whatever, and you can be, it can be private or it can be shared. And like with Platlet, we've shared an Evernote. That way Bethany can see what I can see, and we can write notes back and forth to each other, which is wonderful. So, and I'll just give you a quick rundown here. This is a lot of stuff that these are the main things that I will deal with. And you see it says it's under the task notebook. So you can, by dragging and dropping, you can move the notebook. So let me give you this other, I need to back up a little bit. Evernote has notebooks. I don't you think of those as like a big file cabinet. That's what a notebook is. It's just a big file cabinet. And then the notes that go in it are, or the tags are like folders, because you can tag as many things as you want. So think of it as a folder. You know, you open your file cabinet and there's a folder and there's a name on that folder. That's a tag. Mm-hmm. Then the notes are the information that go in that folder. That's all your notes. But the cool thing is you can have more than one folder tag for a note. So let's find my Evernote. And it puts everything in alphabetical order. So you see it's down here is the Evernote Awesomeness notebook. And so, but if I wanted it up here under my tags, under my task notebook, so I can find it easier, all you have to do is drag and drop it. So I just take it and I drag it up there. And if I throw it right in there, I think it'll put it, did it put it? Let's see, did it put it in task? I may have to go up on top of task. No, it didn't. So I got to go up. I see what I need to do. And you see, I haven't done this in a while. So, but if you drag it on top of the task thing, I think it should put it in there. Well, it's not. You know where I may have to do it? Let's look in here. You may have to go to notebooks. That's probably where I can move it easier. Evernote. Yeah. Yes. Like I said, they've changed some things since I've worked on it last. So I can dump it right here under task. And then it's going to throw it. See, it put it in alphabetical order. That's why I have all these numbers here, because these are things that are more important to me. So I put a number beside them, and then they're in order. And then this Evernote Awesomeness is here. So we'll go to Evernote Awesomeness now. So there's the notebook. And we have notes. So you want to put a note in it, right? So you go, well, what do I do to put a note in it? Well, there's multiple ways. One way is you can email it in. When you have an Evernote account, even a free account, you get an Evernote email address. And where you find that is up here in your account info. It will be sorry, it's usually right here. View all premium features. I've already got proof. Find how it close. Okay. Let's see if it's under. There. No. Well, it is in your account info somewhere. Sorry about that.
Okay.
The email.
Let me see if it's under preferences, but it's
oh, I found it. It's under account summary. If I scroll down, it says email notes too, and it's got this long email address.
Okay, where is it?
Yes.
Under account summary.
Which is under what? File or where?
Oh, I just clicked on my name up at the top. So Let me see where I will.
Okay.
Yeah, like that top left, like your top there. I clicked on that and then went down to settings, and then on account summary, it had it down there.
So, Mom, are you on the web version?
I don't know.
Because I'm on the desktop version, like Joyce is. So I'm wondering, like, did you download?
Yeah, the web version is different, and I'll have to tell you. That's the other thing I want to tell you. Here's account.
I just this moment created my account, so.
Okay.
I just clicked on account settings. Here you go.
Okay, yeah. If you scroll down.
So here it is. Email
Yeah.
notes. So you just copy and save that. Thank you, Johnny.
You're welcome. Yes, I am on the new Evernote web beta, but I can click and go back to the current version. So should I just stay on the web beta?
Yes, that's
Since
fine.
I'm just starting out. Okay.
Okay, so Joyce, how did you find that again?
So if you go down to Evernote,
Yes.
and it says your name. Where did I go? Well, oh, no, you know what? I went to window. Here, help. If you go to help, account settings, it takes you to the web version. And then there, down on the web version, right there, it says email notes too. And see, I've been a member since 2011. I'm a premium member, so I get all the goodies. And that's the thing. It's like, I don't know, $45 or $60 a year now. I don't remember. Because I think I got grandfathered in at a different price. But it's worth it because of all you can do with it. So email it, and I'm going to show you there's different ways. You can save that email, and then just like if you have an email, then you email it to yourself in that Evernote. And I just save it under my name, and I pull up and pick Evernote, or you can save it as Evernote and forward it to yourself, and then it shows up in here. But let's just go and create a new note. So here's a new note. Hit that. And then because I'm in Evernote Awesomeness, it all automatically puts it in that notebook. What I have is cabinet, is where you can see right here, there's 10,308 notes in cabinet.
Wow.
Most things go in cabinet because I tag everything now. The main reason I put things in notebooks is if I'm sharing it with someone. So all of my personal information, because like I put my bills in here, I put copies of cards from people in here. I either snap a picture of them or scan them in. It's a great place. You know, you get all these sweet thank you notes, but do you notice what they kind of collect in little corners of your house? And you're like, what am I going to do with all these? And you hate to throw them away because they're pretty. But I mean, unless it's like from what I've done, unless it's from an immediate relative or a close friend, I will snap a picture of it. And even then I may still snap a picture of it and I'll throw it away. If it's something, if it's like a note that I want to keep. And then I tag it notes from friends or notes from family. And I can go through there and I can see all those. So that's just my little tidbit on organization for that. So we have a note, and here are tags. So I've got all kinds of tags. And you're like, okay, well, what am I going to tag things? If you're confused about tagging things, think simple and think what is the easiest thing that's going to help you figure out how to find it. So for us, I'll give us Platlit, or if you're, this instance is writers, the novel I'm working on is Soul Custody. So if it's something for my novel, I would put that. If it's something for writing, I would put at writing, or I have writing. You can see all this: writing articles, writing associations, writing coaches, writing in layers. If it's something with writing articles, I could do that. If it's for something for Bethany at Platlit, I think we did this. We did at Bethany Platt. So then I know this was a task thing. So Bethany can go look in Evernote and search that tag, and everything that says at Bethany Platlit will show up. Because we have some private information in there, I won't search that. But I'll do Soul Custody because most of that's no biggie. It's just a lot of what I have for my novel in here is research information. So you see this where it says sole custody tags. I just started putting sole, and I have all these tags. You want to hit that. If you hit suggestions, it's going to bring up and that may be handy if you don't remember where you put something and you remember a word or two that's in the note, you can type it in and it will pull up every note that has that word in it.
Wow.
The most recent one will be on the top. If you've got, I always keep I keep the most recent notes at the top. So let's just look at sole custody for a second. And these are all the things tagged sole custody. Even though you see I'm in my Evernote Awesomeness notebook, there's different notebooks that are over here. Most of them you see are cabinet. Yeah, I put everything in the cabinet for sole custody.
Can you keep them in two different places? Copy and keep them in two different places? If they, I'm thinking, let's say, you know, you've got this under Evernote Awesomeness, a sole custody. What if there was a file there you wanted there instead of under your novel? Okay, I mean, or both places.
So if you want it more than one place, then you can tag it. That's what the tags do.
Okay. Okay.
But it can only be in one notebook. You can have as many tags as you want, but it can only be in one notebook. So think of it, it can only be in one file cabinet, but you can have the same piece of paper in as many folders as you want.
Okay.
Does that help people with other paper people?
That helps me see it.
Yeah. So you can have it as many folders as you want, the same piece of paper, the same note.
So
and they've got, I'm sorry, what?
So, I was gonna say, Joyce, so like when you're tagging, it's almost as if in like real life, you were taking that file and putting like a photocopy of it and then sticking it into the different files, but just the tag kind of does that for you.
Right.
And I think this is a great way to think about it.
Yeah, that's exactly it. And they have templates now too, which is a fun thing that we'll look at later. But right now, let's just put test note. And I see there's some, Bethany, are there any questions? Because I'm not looking at that right now.
Okay, hi Dell. Dell said, what happens if you work on the note and make changes? What happens to it? Does it stay, it changes among all the tags? I guess, is that the question?
It syncs. Everything, and that's the other, Evernote is cloud-based. So if you're on your Wi-Fi, it's syncing. You see right up here, it's syncing right now. Every time I do something, it's syncing. And you can tell it to sync every 15 minutes. You can tell it to sync. You can tell it when you want it to sync, or to sync once an hour. I tell it to sync every 15 minutes, or as soon as I make an adjustment to a note. So and that's the other cool thing is if I'm working on my computer and I have it pulled up on my iPad, those changes happen almost immediately.
Wow,
that's wonderful.
Yes. Now with collaboration, you have to be careful if Beth and I were looking at the same note at the same time, only one of us can be typing in there on it. She could look at it long as she's not typing on it, but if I'm typing on it, or vice versa. So you can collaborate, but you have only one person needs to have access at a time because you'll create duplicate notes. It'll create a conflict note is what it calls it. And it'll tell you, hey, there's a conflict note for this note because two people were working on it at the same time. Or if you have it open in two devices and you type it on one and you then go and type on your iPad too at the same time, don't do that. You type on one or the other. Like you can have it open and view it on one and type on the other, but don't type on both at the same time. Like if you're, just whatever. Crazy multitask like that sometimes. I don't know everybody does that, but just in case you do. So let's see, there were some other questions. What was another question real quick we can grab?
About the version.
The versions, yeah. Do you recommend one version over the other, either the web or the one that you download to your computer?
Desktop, 100%. The web version drives me crazy. Because it does so much more. And I mean, it's easier to access to me. The web version is kind of, I don't know if glitchy is the word. I don't know. I don't like it ever because I think part of it is I'm so used to using it on the desktop that when I go to do it on, if I just have, for whatever reason have to do something out there, I don't like it.
Joyce,
But,
speaking of
yes.
versions, is there like a smartphone? Can you do it on your
Yes.
phone? And
Yes.
is that your web version, or is that that should be your web version then, wouldn't it?
No, there's an app. There's
an app.
There's an app for that, Jamie. There's an app.
Okay. And have you used that much?
Oh yeah, I use it all the time because like last week when I was on vacation, it was also actually a little business trip too. It was a Fun Fearless female group, and we had some sessions while we were on days we were out at sea, and I taught a couple of them writing, but one of them, I forgot my notebook. So there's audio. You can see this right here. You can record audio, and so I'm recording audio now. Oh,
wow.
no, I gotta hit this. There. Okay, you want access. So I can record right now. So it's great for recording interviews. You can record classes. You can record sessions. You can anything like that. I've done that a lot for interviews as I've recorded that. And see, there it is. It's a little wave file. You got to be careful though. Don't back click because you will delete it. So you make sure you get below it or above it. And here's the other thing I always do is, get a couple spaces and then here's where you type. So your title is up here for your note. Your text for your note goes down here. You can record. I forgot what that thing. You can attach things. It does. I don't deal with Google Drive that much, but it does connect with Google Drive somehow. Your Google Drive files. But you can put a Word document, a Pages document, a Mac version or a PC version of Word, PowerPoint, Keynote, and Numbers, all of that. Those files can be in here. So you can attach them in here. So I save so much. So I'm trying to think of like where's a PDF I could show you. I'll have to look a second. I know I have. Let's see what I've got open sometimes.
I got a quick question for you.
Go ahead.
Okay, so I used to use Noseby, like it's a to-do list manager, and one of the things they did was you could email, kind of similar, when you could forward an email out of your own inbox to their inbox and clean out your email easier that way. So when you email yourself your Evernote email, where does it go? Do you have to, are there tags you can put in the subject line where it moves it somewhere?
There are ways to do that, but I find that I can never remember like how to do it. So I just email it in and it goes into your inbox. And like, this is my inbox right here.
Okay.
Then what I do is just at some point in the day, I will go through anything that I've emailed and I'll go through and here's my, let's see, this is my all notes. Yeah. So here's all my notes, because I'm in all notes. I'm not in the Evernote awesomeness now. You see where it says all notes? You can do that. If I want to go into my cabinet, I can hit right there. But let's look and see what I've got right here. Well, here's a note that I was playing with, and you just change it to Evernote awesomeness and hit move or enter. It makes it move, and then tag it. Bethany.
And you can put deadlines on this. Can you put due dates or reminders?
Yes. Okay. Right here. Now, the only thing that I don't like about their due dates, so add a reminder. I moved it. So that's what it went away. I'm like, where'd it go? Because I moved it to Evernote Awesomeness. Let's go back up here. So whenever you do that, it's syncing, so there we go. So add a reminder, add a date. So this is helpful, and it will email it to you the morning of whatever the date is. It will email it to you to remind you. It'll pop up on your phone, whatever. You can tell it what you want it to do in the settings. If you want it to email you, and I have it do both. I have it email me and pop up on my phone. So you can say, okay, tomorrow remind me this at 8 a.m. and it will remind you of this at 8 a.m. The only problem I don't like about it is I can't hit snooze and tell me, remind me in an hour or remind me tomorrow instead of today. You have to go in and change the date. But all the reminders, so if you're ever looking for your reminders, are right here. So, and it's from the different notebooks. Let's see, to do. Oh, okay. There's some of my to-dos from before. So if you want to see your reminders, they're all right here, and they'll put them in order by most relevant. And so if there's something that is important, then you can do it that way.
This is fantastic.
Yeah.
So excited.
Yeah. So I don't use that feature as much as if it's as I do, because what I typically do is for me, what works best is a reminder in my task list to do that, and then I know where the information is at that I need. So we've got tags, we've got notebook. Everybody clear on tags and notebook, how that works? Does that make sense? Sort of.
Feel free to ask questions in the chat, and we do have a question about email, Joyce.
Okay, what about the email?
Okay, so I think we just need some clarification. Jan was asking, do you need to check your Gmail and Evernote email, or can they be combined?
Well, the Evernote email, all it is an email address to email into Evernote. And you do that manually, so you'll know when you've done that. And then everything you email, or if it doesn't have a notebook assigned to it, automatically goes in here. So like, yeah, see, here's something that I emailed and I did not put that. So it's a receipt for payment for my iTunes. So I always put that under receipts 2019, and I move it to cabinet. Done. So you can go in this notebook and move things. You see for 3,503 of them, I have not. But the great thing is, if I need something from there, then it's always I can always, like, here's this Guidepost Academy. I did that little thing about creating your story. I can go Guidepost Academy, and everything that Guidepost Academy will show up here, and see it's showing up in my notebook, and I can move it to cabinet. Does that help? Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. And then I can tag it. Guide. I think I thought I had already tagged that. No, I did not. I see another question popping up, but what does it say, Bethany?
She said, yes, thank you. So, and this is a really great way to clean out your Gmail inbox or whatever inbox that you have too, because the important stuff can be moved over to Evernote. You know, you're going to work there, and then your email's going down. You're just moving it from one inbox to another, basically. But
right, then you can organize it so much easier in Evernote. That's what I love. I like the ease of organization. It works so much better over here. So let's go back to all notes and go up to the top to our test note. Mm-hmm. So, okay, the next thing that I wanted to show you, so we can share this notebook with people. Like I said, Bethany and I are sharing a notebook. So I'm going to go ahead, because her email's already in here, and share this Evernote Awesomeness notebook with her. So you click on the notebook, and you right click, and it says share notebook. Mm-hmm. And then you're going to change it to shared. And then, because her info should be in here, Bethany, yeah, there she is. Pick an email, any email. Bethany and I are probably about the same. How many emails you got, Bethany? I'm probably about 10. So then an invite will be sent to her. So if you don't have it, if it's not like this, pulls, I think, emails from my computer. So, but if it doesn't, you just copy and paste their email in there. And once it's in there, it'll remember it. And then if you want to share another notebook or a note with them, you can. So you hit done. and now she'll receive a notification by email, and she can click on it to share the notebook, to join the notebook. So then once she's in there, she can see what I can see. Now, one of the things that you got to remember, if you create it, so I created the notebook, and if I create a tag for it, then she can use that tag for other things in that notebook. But the other person has to be, I think, on premium too, for them to be able to put tags on those notes. So if they go in and create a note and add a tag, I may or may not see their tags. I can't remember how that works. Do you know, Bethany, how that works? Do you remember? Can you go create a tag in the Platlit real quick and see if I can pull it up over here and just tell me what you create. You know, just make up something like Writer's Chat or something. Well, I have Writer's Chat. Do Joyce at Writer's Chat or something. But anyways, so we have notebooks, we have tags, we have notes. We can share the notebooks, and you can organize the notebooks by dragging and dropping. Everybody got that so far?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now there was another question up here. Can anybody see it? It's not pulling up for me. Come on. There we go.
I created a tag called Joyce Writer's Chat tag.
Okay. So, because she did that, let's see if it will show up here. Joyce. Oh, let's hit sync. Make sure you hit sync too. And that's the other thing. You got to make sure if you're doing something like this, it'll automatically sync at some point whenever you're working on it. But if you're trying to get somebody to see something, make sure you have synced and they have synced so that they can see it. Because if one or the other is not synced, obviously then you're not going to see it. And it may not show up because I'm not in that notebook, but you say Joyce. Was it at Writer's Chat or just Joyce Writer's Chat?
It was Joyce Writer's Chat.
Okay. So see, now it's not showing up for me here, but when I go in to that note, can you create a dummy note in there, and I'll go look at it in the Platlit? Or do it join the Evernote Awesomeness. You could do it in there too.
All right, I'll work on that.
Okay. You work on that while we do something else. So
I think, Mom, you or Jeannie?
Yeah, I do. I want to go back because I think we answered this, but then I don't know. I got conflicted, I think.
That's okay.
So okay, so I just, as we did this, created the Evernote account, and it said web account, and then it said you can go back to the older version. I don't want to go back to an older version. I should just stay on the web account, even though it's not the desktop account. But you prefer the desktop account.
Right. You can go to Evernote and download the desktop and sign in with your sign-in, and you can have both. It doesn't matter.
Okay.
It's like, technically, I have both too, because I can use, you can use it on the web, or you can use it on your desktop. And that's the beauty of it, because it's cloud-based, everything's syncing.
Everything is. So it's just what you get used to. If I go in here and I'm using this and I'm getting used to this, I should just maybe stay with this.
I wouldn't.
You wouldn't?
No, because there's just some things that you can do on the desktop that you can't do on the web. That and I don't know why. There's just some things. It seems to work easier to me on the desktop than it does on the web version.
Okay, so I should switch to older version of Evernote.
No, you have to switch to an older version. Just go to evernote.com and download it for the desktop.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, gotcha. Now
just so there's a desktop
now what you're saying. Okay.
Yeah, there's a desktop version and there's the web version, and you can just download the Evernote onto the desktop.
Okay.
And sign in, and then everything will sync.
Everything.
And that's the other thing for people. Okay, somebody was talking about moving stuff on the computer when I jumped in, and I'm like, especially with your manuscripts, if you're writing, it needs to be in some kind of cloud-based thing.
Yes.
Dropbox, Google Docs, something. Yeah. Even if you just keep a copy in there and that's not where you work on it. Because so many people I know, and this is what I love about Evernote and Dropbox and all that, if my computer crashed today, all I need to do is go get a new one, which will break my heart. Just spend that money, but I can get a new one, download Evernote and Dropbox, sign into my accounts, and everything, all my information there.
You've got it.
Anything. So like I use Scrivener to write my manuscripts, and all my Scrivener backs up to Dropbox.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that's your tech tip for today.
For backup
sure you have, because I mean, I don't know. I'm sure most of you know who Lisa Turkers is. She lost a manuscript because she had a computer die, and I sat there thinking, woman, are you serious? I mean, this was like just in the past couple of years.
Wow.
And you know, if your laptop is stolen, you know, there could be numerous reasons. And some people say, well, I put it on an external hard drive. Okay, well, say someone breaks in your house and they take your external hard drive too, then you're still stuck. You know, you have a fire in your house, God forbid. Both of them will be gone if it's not in the cloud somewhere.
I had a hard drive crash. My hard drive crashed the same time my computer crashed. So
yeah,
you're right.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah. So if you have it in the cloud somewhere, then it's safe. And even if it's just a copy of it that you know save every day, but it's easier just to keep it saved. I mean, I keep my Scrivener saved into Dropbox. And again, that's one of those things as a writer, if that's an investment, you know, Dropbox, Google Docs, I think you can keep pretty cheap for free. They have a good bit for free before you have to pay, right? Because like I think I'm paying for Google like $1.99 a month just because I have a lot of pictures, because I'm a picture freak, and like so I've got them in the cloud, Dropbox, and Google. Like those pictures aren't going anywhere.
Joyce, we had a question in the chat too about if you send the note to email, like if you sent that note to Bethany from your contact list, but she didn't have Evernote, she has to have an Evernote file to view the note?
No. Now that's a very good question. So if you're sending a note to someone, you can share a link and they can pull it up and see it. Now they would have to, and then they can save it. I think it'll let them save as a PDF. I'll do that real quick. But to share a notebook, they have to have an account, like where we have to share multiple notes. So you see in this Evernote awesomeness. Oh, look, Bethany put a note in here. This class is awesome. So as you can see, she added that while we were sitting here doing all this. And I can see it because she clicked on the link to accept my sharing this notebook, and she could share one with me, vice versa. The person who creates the notebook has a little more control over it than the person joining. And so that's where you gotta, like, if you're going to do that, you got to share, and you know, okay, this is tag is for this, and then that way. So did you create a new tag yet in here?
No, it wouldn't let me. I got a message saying that only tags that are used in that notebook can be added here. So like writers articles or writing articles, one that you already have, I could put that in, but I couldn't add like writers chat or make one up.
You couldn't create a new one. And you're not premium, are you?
Yep.
You are premium? Mm-hmm. Okay. So I wasn't sure if that was a premium thing or a shared thing. So there's the thing that whoever creates the notebook has to create the tags that you want to go in that notebook, and then those tags can be used in there.
Which makes sense.
Yeah. So let's go to what were we? I was sharing a note. So let's go over here, and I'm going to share this note.
I wrote that.
Okay, so this says shareable link is off, and any with the one with the link, you just change it to that, and there you see it created a link, and then on the Mac it will let you hit this copy URL. Now bear in mind, if you're on a PC, some of these things may be a little different. They're all there, you just got to figure out how to find them. I don't use a PC anymore. Thank you, Jesus. But if you do, there are ways to do this, and I found this because when I was learning how to do things on the Mac, and I'm sure it works the same way with PC. Google it. How do you add a link, a shareable link in Evernote on a PC, and it will bring up something from Evernote's knowledge base to show you that worked well. So if you want to share just this link with somebody, then I already hit this copy URL. So you can either email it to them or you can send it in a text message. But let me go out here to my Safari and I will show you. Oh, hi, Diane Mills. New window. What it does. So the little thing keeps popping up. All right, so when they get it, whether you text it to them, send it in Facebook message, email it to them, whatever you do, you copy the link and you send it to somebody and they hit on it, this is what they'll see. There's the note. And it will ask them if they want to view it in Evernote. And I think if they don't have Evernote, it'll ask them if they want to download it. But at least they can see it. So if it's just information you want to send to somebody and they don't have an Evernote account, then you can send them the link and they can see the information, and either they can copy and paste it or they can save it. I think this will download image, share, save, and watch. I don't know why it's calling that an image when that's a so like with that, they could click on that. Hold on. Hush. I can't make it hush. Oh, that's why. I'm like,
okay.
So it did it twice. So if they want it, and some people may not know this, and if you ever get a recording like this, if you right click, you can download it as a video and save it onto your computer. If that's what you need to do, or if you just want to listen to it, then they can listen to it, whatever. But and then there's the text, obviously they can read. So does that make sense with that? And I feel like I've kind of been all over the place, but hopefully.
Joyce, we've got about 5 minutes before we bring everybody back in to final comments and stuff. So this has been really helpful. Can you give us some final really good tips before we bring everybody back in?
So you want to organize your email. Oh, I forgot my favorite one. Web Clipper.
Yes, I use that one. So I know that one.
Yes,
it's
Web Clipper is awesome. So, okay, here's my old blog. We'll go over here and look at my little sad blog. It's been neglected for about 2 years. Once it pulls up. Okay, so if you see a page like this, or let's see a blog post, whatever, a page, and you saw that I had a page in there that I did for my research last night. You click on Evernote, and the way you get this is you go to evernote.com and download Evernote Web Clipper. And you can even just Google Evernote Web Clipper, and whatever browser you're in, it will bring you up the link to download it. So I use Safari all the time, but it works on Google Chrome and I think all of them. So then you can choose, because I'm already signed in to Evernote up here on the Web Clipper, this is the little Web Clipper icon, and this is what it pulls up. And you can change this up here, if you want to say research. Oh, and I'll give you another good one. I message a lot of people in Facebook Message for my client work. And a lot of times it's prospective clients that I'm messaging because they're in my group or whatever. You can Evernote Web Clip it, and the entire message will scroll in Evernote and you can see it. You can save it instead of I was doing screenshots at one point and saving them, but just so I could remember the conversation and I could tag their name in Evernote.
How did you do that again? Say that again. You're in iMessage.
Facebook Messages.
Facebook Messages, okay.
Facebook Messages, go to the full page of Facebook Messages, not just the little thing that you see on the website.
Yep.
I can go do one in a minute. And when you hit save, up here, and then I would put, you know, it's such and such date, or what, or I met them or whatever, or I might have a note up here, and you can save it. So then you can choose your notebook. So I'm going to go down to our Evernote awesomeness. And if I, well, and the easy way to do it is this. Well, if you spell it right, it's easy. Why does it not sync that notebook? Evernote awesomeness. Huh. That's interesting. It should be right there. I don't think this is synced. You know, so we'll just put it in the cabinet for the moment. All right. And then I can tag it writers chat. All right. And hit save. And if you can save it in there and not tag it anything and just tag it later if you're not sure what you want to tag it, but if you know you need to save it. So web clipping, emailing, and so web clipping gets rid of all those folders that you would keep in your browser, because then you can tag it. Then the beauty is if you have an email, like with my sole custody, if I have an email, something from the internet, and a note typed up, I can see all of those in one place under one tag, under sole custody. I can see all of those. So that's the beauty of making this organization work for you. Again, you want to keep your, let me be warning with your tags, you don't want so many tags that you drive yourself crazy. But you want to keep it where you have enough so that if you forget where you put it, you can find it easily. So, and then there's web clipping, and then there's one other quick thing that I love that I want to show you. And that is you can make all of these, like if I wanted, well, you can see I've got shortcuts up here. They have shortcuts. So I have Platlet notebook as a shortcut. You can have a notebook as a shortcut, or a note as a shortcut, or you can have yeah, a notebook and a note. A tag. There we go. That's what I was looking for. A tag. So here's like my podcast. And to make it and put it in your shortcuts, you just right click. And so this is going to, it says add note to shortcuts. To add a notebook to shortcuts or a tag in the on the computer, it's easier a little actually to do on the devices than on here. But if I wanted a notebook in shortcuts, oh sure, remove. Oh, hold on. Maybe it's over here. Okay, let me try here. It may be here. Well, that one's already in shortcuts. Let's see. Evernote awesomeness is not in shortcuts. Let's see. Modify, sharing, delete, upload. Well, and again, they have changed things on me, so forgive me. Here we go. Add notebook to shortcuts. So it's over here under the three little dots on this. So go looking, because on the PC, it's probably somewhere different. But on the Mac, it's over here under the three little dots. You can add it to notebook. On a note, you just right click, and if you want that note in there, it's add note to shortcuts. And then tags, I'm pretty sure you have to go to the tags to get them. So down here is tags. And here's all my tags. And if I want one of them, add tag to shortcuts. So tags, you go to the tags. Notebook, you have to be in the notebook and right click on the, or do the three little dots, which is here. So those three little dots, if you're in a notebook, add that notebook to shortcuts. And then for a note, you just right click on the note. And then the most current one will show at the top. And And then you can move them around too. That's the other thing I love. So you can drag it and move it. If you didn't want that one there, you can put it in order. And then if you want to take it out of shortcuts, you can just right click, remove from shortcuts.
This is so powerful, isn't it? So powerful.
It is. It is.
Yeah.
It does so much. We could probably talk for another hour or two.
Well, we want to have you back.
Yeah.
We all want to go load it down and play with it and then invite you back. And
then we can have a question and answer time. Like, okay, I'm doing this. What I do?
So.
Yes. That would be great. That would be good. We could troubleshoot. So
I think
what
Sophia still might be a little. Sophia's a little concerned about, confused. I think that she went to the Evernote website, but it looks like that's not the app. But she needs to go to the website and actually download the app to her computer. Correct?
Right. So let's go to evernote.com. Where was I? I had that pulled up.
No, you're not confused, Sophia. This is a lot of info.
It is.
It is a lot of info. So let me go over here to Evernote, and this will help clear up some of it. And some, just like every other website, they love to move things around.
Okay, so there's.
Okay. So this is signing up for your account.
Okay.
Then you go all the way to the bottom, I think is where they have downloads. Yeah, popular features, web clipper, multi-sync, sign up. Okay. Download app right there.
Okay. That helps.
And there it is. And see, it has it in the App Store, Google Store, Microsoft. So it's on every single device you can put it on, whether it's PC, Mac, Android, Apple. It does it. It's on every one. It will sync across them. Of course, things are a little different on. It has all the same features, but where you get to it, how you do it, can be a little different on each device. But what I do love is that definitely on the Apple products, they have definitely made it a lot easier. The app has become so much better just in the past 2 or 3 years.
I think it's going to be a valuable writer's chat to go back, like you said, we listen to it, or watch the replay again as we play with these sites too. So
right,
it's one of these tools. I think you're going to learn more by playing with it, aren't you?
You do. One other thing that I love, that's one of my favorite things, especially on the phone or the iPad, is if you want to say there's a document or a receipt that you want to keep up with and you want to save, it has a feature to take a picture. You just add a new note and tell it that you want to take a picture. Let me get to that. It's down at the bottom on the phone, on the iPhone. There's a little plus, there's a camera, and then there's a plus symbol. Let me see if I can get up here where you can see it. Do you see the camera and the little plus symbol at the bottom there? It's kind of like right over here. And it says take photo, add from photos, record audio, add sketch, attach a file. So if I want to take a photo, I hit take photo, and it will take a photo and make it look like a PDF, or it will take a photo and make it look just like a regular photo. So if you wanted business cards, when I go to Blue Ridge Conference, I snap a picture of all the business cards and it will save that information for me. And then I tag it Blue Ridge. Well, I do the initials, BRMCWC. That's the longest title. Blue Ridge Mountains Christian Writers Conference. And I'll put the year, and then I'll know, and I'll put, like last year I did that, and I put that 2018 connection. So there was the people that I connected with, and then I had another tag for where I took notes. So that's, if you're doing a conference, it's a great way to keep a lot of info. And then I recorded a lot of the classes I went to. I recorded them, so because sometimes I couldn't, some of them, there's people talk so fast like Bethany. And you can't keep up with them. And so you just record it and you have it there. And then whatever notes I could catch, I could type in there. So another great feature that like I said, we could keep going on and on, but start playing with it, and the more you learn, the more you'll do with it. And I would be happy to come back and do a follow-up for, you know,
That would be great.
some more things for it. So
That
are
is,
we ready? Are we ready for some
I
questions?
think our yeah, well, why don't we have everybody come on back in? We always say everybody, why don't you unshare your screen if you don't mind too, Joyce? And as we say to everybody, there's a few people we may have taken you off. There you go. If we've taken you off, we may have to manually invite you back in if you have questions. But we're running a little late, but we might have time. Johnny, I'll let you call on people.
Okay. Who does have questions?
I have a statement.
Statement. We'll hear a statement.
Okay, so because of the paper condition with my hands, I've been going digital, and Evernote has like a handwriting app for the iPad called Penultimate, and I've been using Notability, which I love. So I think this is going to maybe swing me over to checking out Penultimate. But I think one of the features is you can write in your handwriting, and it's searchable, which is not in Notability. I think I'm right about that. So maybe when we bring back, that could be part of it too, is if anyone's interested.
Well, and if you can save it as a PDF, you can put it over in Evernote too. Anything that you can save as a PDF, you can save to Evernote. I mean, well, anything you can. It can be a Pages document, a PDF, an image, anything you can save over into Evernote, and that is what I love about it. And those images, if the images have text, it will search the text on those images. If you have the premium, I think. I don't think if you have the free, that may be one of those premium features. But there's a lot you can do with the free too.
Is everybody back on that wants to be back on?
If you can't come back on, just please put it in the chat. Help bring you back if you're blocked. Then I'll watch for that. Anybody have a quick question?
This is great, but it's a lot, and I've had it on open, and I'm trying to figure things out. But yeah, I like it.
Well, and once you can figure out a system to keep organized, that's the big thing. I think most people open it up and go, "What the heck?"
Yeah.
And if you don't have a little guidance on creating, because I like I said, Michael Hyatt actually is the one who introduced me to it. And I started using it, and he introduced one way, and then later on, he or somebody else came up with put everything in the cabinet and tag it. Instead of having a gazillion notebooks, you tag it in one notebook. Obviously, I still have a gazillion notebooks because you have to share. If you want to share a notebook, you have to share more than one note.
Yeah.
And you can only do that way. So I have multiple notebooks because I've shared with VAs and other people that I work with. So anybody else got a good question?
I have a question. Yeah.
Go ahead.
So if I'm struggling with a lot of disorganized, work and stuff everywhere. So where would be a good place to start to try to, start an organization system using Evernote?
I mean, like with work, what do you do? I mean, obviously, if you're
with the emails, with my writing projects, just trying to got a lot of irons in the fire and trying to, distinguish between each and find them easily and not waste time searching.
Then I would definitely start putting all of that into Evernote and tagging things.
Okay.
I would, and then and if you have to, make a chart of your tags to help you. I mean, you make a note with all your tags in them and put that in shortcuts. That way you'll remember, okay, for this project, I'm doing this note. For this project, I'm tagging it this. Okay. And then that way, when you have everything tagged, every email, every document, every image, every audio recording can be tagged that, and then you can find it much easier. And that way, it simplifies it. So think of it as everything in that file cabinet, and you can pull it out in one folder. Like, oh, here it is, everything I need.
I like the sound of that.
I do too.
Yeah,
nice.
And for all you, if you have a question after this, post in the group or feel free to private message me if you get to doing something and you go, not really sure what to do here. Feel free to private message me. But in general, right now, starting out, I would create a new notebook called Cabinet, and I would create a list of tags that make sense to you. But don't try to do too many tags at first, because then you're going to get lost. But keep it simple. So like if you have a writing project, everything's tagged for the writing project.
Yeah.
If you're working with somebody else on something and they need to know it, tag them too. If it's, something personal, like I do my bills. All my bills are either emailed to me or I scan them in. And so of course, cable bill is cable, and internet, is together. Then I have electric. I don't put the electric company, I've just put electric, and phone is phone, and what else do you have? Mortgage is mortgage. I don't put the mortgage company because, if you move, you change mortgage companies.
Right.
But if you tag it mortgage, then okay, everything from this house, and you'll know which house it's from because we're a mortgage company. Or if you get changed, or you've had that happen too, where they buy your loan out and you get another mortgage company. Yay. Got to figure out who to send it to now.
Yeah, been there.
Yeah. So anybody else?
Well, thank you so much. It's been great. And I invite you back. If you could reschedule, give us a couple months and we could play with it and
Sounds
stuff
great.
like that. Yeah, we'd love that. And we'll stay on afterwards here just for a few minutes after we finish the recording. Johnny, do you have down what we have next week?
Yes, Bethany Turner is going to be with us. Bethany is a Christie Award finalist with her novel, The Secret Life of Sarah Hollenbeck. She writes really fun romantic comedies, kind of like While You Were Sleeping, You've Got Mail, in that kind of vein. But she is just phenomenal at coming up with unique ideas for promoting her book, and she handles 1-star reviews with grace and humor. So we're going to be talking about social media savvy and kind of getting into a little bit about things for book launches and a little bit about handling negative reviews. So there you go. Next week.
The link to her book maybe in the Facebook group, and then maybe for book club, so that way maybe we can tie in the book club people. Maybe they'll want to join us next week.
That'd be a great idea. Yeah. She's a lot of fun. So
I want to read that.
Yeah.
It's a really cute book. It really is. And then she's got another one out too. So yeah, she's doing really well as a new author.
I'll grab an Amazon link right here if anyone is like me, like I want to read it before next week. I'll stick it in the chat.
And all your spare time, right, Bethany?
Yeah.
I read 2 books this weekend. Thank you, Audible.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that. Now, audio books I love, and you can go through them like that.
Ew. I was
Makes you feel good. I read a book. Listened to the whole thing while I was doing 100 other things, but I read a book.
You read a book?
Yeah. Sophia, I love your, this enables my note hoarding. This sparks joy. It was in this group that you had the libraries, and Marie, this sparks my joy or something like that. This humongous library.
Yes.
I'm like, so there, I'm a book hoarder. I'm like, I hoard them digitally. I hoard them all over my house. I've got 2 bookcases in here. They're in baskets, in drawers, in closets, in boxes in my basement still, because we haven't unpacked our basement. So. I've been here a little over a year, so it's been interesting.
So it takes time. It takes time to unpack.
Well, thank you everybody for joining us today. Stay for the after party and join us next week for Writer's Chat. And thank you if you were here live or you're watching the replay. And Joyce, again, thank you very much again. We'll see you guys next week.
Bye everybody.
Bye everybody.
Bye. Thank you.